Hello everybody, Bitcoin has seen the bounce we have been talking about in yesterday's video. I am going to show you exactly why we got rejected at that exact level after we have seen the bounce. Then on the 1 hour time frame, Bitcoin is forming a potential pattern where we are most likely seeing a breakout from today. Then guys, we are going to have a look at Chainlink as well, because Chainlink is actually looking quite bullish right now. And at the end of this video, I am going to show you one exact level at one specific chart, which is a very important level, and we are testing it right now. So guys, drop a like, leave your comment down below, and with that being said, welcome to the blockchain today. My name is Jeroen. This is the YouTube channel where you subscribe for daily crypto videos, and right now let's jump into the charts. And guys, before we are jumping into the charts, I want to tell you all that you guys are amazing, and I'm really thankful that you guys always like my videos, supporting me. That is really good for my energy, that keeps me going. So guys, a big thank you for that, for always liking my videos. So guys, let's jump into the Bitcoin charts, and I want to start off with having a look at the 1 hour time frame. And yesterday we have been talking about that we are most likely going to see a bounce from these levels, and I've said that because we are seeing a bullish divergence. On the RSI, we've created a lower low in the price, but we've created a higher low in the RSI, which is as well visible on the MACD. So this is indicating that in the shorter term time frame, we most likely are going to see a bounce. And the level where we bounce to right here is a very important level, and it's also quite interesting that we got rejected from this level. And if you guys are watching my videos already for some time, then you know exactly why I think that this level is so remarkable and so important, and that it was quite logical that we are seeing some sell pressure, some bearish momentum stepping in the moment we've touched this level. Because if we draw the Fibonacci retracement tool on the move right here from the top till the bottom, then we can see that we got rejected at the golden zone, which means that this bounce to the upside could be a retracement from this move to the downside. Because theoretically, that could mean that we are seeing a drop right here, and Bitcoin is oversold in the shorter term time frame, then we are seeing a bounce without too much confidence, and finally we are getting rejected at the golden zone or the golden ratio, and then afterwards we can continue this downtrend. So these Fibonacci levels are showing us right now that this move potentially could be a retracement from this bigger drop to the downside. However guys, this is not a confirmation. It is still possible that eventually we are going to break above this level. So we have been predicting this bounce quite nice here on the channel. I've opened a short position the moment we broke below the bear flag formation right here, because this was just signaling us that we most likely are going to see a bigger drop to the downside. I've closed my short position at the 10,200 level, where we eventually saw this bounce from. But what is happening right now in the Bitcoin chart, and what can we expect in the near future? Well, first of all guys, I want to bring out the RSI. I want to show you some signs that I'm seeing in the momentum right now in the Bitcoin price. And that is that we have been overbought on the 1 hour time frame right here. And if we compare that with previous highs, then it looks like we do have some bearish signs on the RSI. For example, right here we can see that the price is actually higher than the high we've created right here, but in the RSI it is the other way around, which is a bearish divergence and tells us that right now we could see some bearish momentum in the price of Bitcoin. And if we zoom in, we can see another bearish divergence. We've created a higher high right here in the price, but in the RSI we can see we've created a lower high. This was as well showing us that bearish momentum most likely will step in, which eventually is exactly what happened. So right now when we have a look at the Bitcoin price, then we are seeing actually a falling wedge pattern. And a falling wedge pattern is actually a bullish pattern where the price is creating lower lows and lower highs in a narrowing pattern. And most of the time a falling wedge pattern can act as a continuation pattern. So we enter this pattern from an uptrend, afterwards we're forming a falling wedge pattern, and eventually once we are breaking above the resistance, the price will continue its uptrend. And the target of a rising wedge pattern, that is the top of the wedge right here, which is at approximately 10,800. Which is as well in the golden zone of the Fibonacci level. So that is actually quite interesting. And in the shorter term time frame, also the most important pattern to watch. I want to bring out a support zone right here, which was former resistance, as we can see right here, at approximately the levels of 10,500. If we decisively were to break below the support zone, then that is definitely a bearish sign and is signaling us that most likely we can see a bigger move to the downside, and yeah, most likely are going to test the support of the triangle formation again. But so far we are still trading in a bullish pattern, a falling wedge pattern, and I think the chances are more likely we eventually will break out to the upside and continue this uptrend, unless we will be breaking below this support zone, which will invalidate the falling wedge pattern. And if you want to know exactly how you should trade these patterns profitably in the long term, how you can recognize these patterns, which checklist you need to confirm before entering a trade, where to place your entry point, where to place your exit point, and where to set your stop loss, then you can sign up for my cryptocurrency trading course, where I will explain you everything how you should trade these patterns profitably in the long term. You can find a link to the cryptocurrency trading course down below in the description. So this is what I'm watching in the short term, and most likely we will see a breakout out of this pattern today, so we can see if this pattern will be invalidated or that we actually indeed are forming a falling wedge pattern right here. Then guys, I want to have a quick talk about some interesting metrics, and first I would like to have a quick talk about the crypto fear and greed index, which is right now at fear, which I think is actually quite remarkable. And if we have a look at the BitMax funding rate, then we can see the BitMax funding rate right now is neutral, but was coming from negative funding rates, and that was also one reason why most likely we were seeing some increased buying pressure, because the funding rate was negative. The funding rate is always a great indicator showing us whether there are more longs than shorts or more shorts than longs, and this indicator works perfectly as a contrarian indicator. So right here we can see that we have a negative funding rate, which eventually has a bullish outcome on the price. But right now the funding rate is neutral, and the crypto fear and greed index is showing us that the sentiment right now is slightly fearful rather than greedy. And that is actually quite interesting when we have a look at the macro perspective, because Bitcoin in the macro perspective is actually looking very bullish. We are testing the 20-week moving average, which is one of the most important trend lines in the Bitcoin charts, determining whether we are in a bull or in a bear market. And so far it looks like we are seeing a bounce. We are getting supported from this level. And if we have a look at the previous bull market, then we can see the moment we are testing the 20-week moving average, historically it has been a great time to accumulate Bitcoin. Because in the bull market from 2015 up to 2017, the 20-week moving average was every time working like a magnet. The price of Bitcoin was drawn to the 20-week moving average, but it was also the bottom of the retracement most of the times. We had sometimes a wick below this level, but we never had a weekly close below this level until we were entering a bear market. So guys, if we use this information, then historically right now is definitely a good time for Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is looking definitely bullish in the macro perspective. So guys, that is actually quite funny that Bitcoin in the macro perspective is looking very bullish. We have broken above this declining resistance right here, and we are right now above the 20-week moving average, and even right now already tested it as support. But the sentiment is still fearful, and this is as well an indicator which I personally use as a contrarian indicator. When the majority of the people are fearful, my bias will be slightly turned towards the bullish side, and when the majority of the people are greedy, then my bias will slightly turn towards the bearish side. So I think that is quite interesting, and that is as well one of the reasons why I think most likely we are going to see a breakout of this resistance from the falling wedge pattern right here and continue this uptrend. However guys, if we were to break below the support zone, then this pattern is invalidated, and then most likely we are going to see a bigger drop to the downside. Then guys, I want to bring up Chainlink in the Bitcoin comparative, because Chainlink is actually looking quite bullish. We have a declining resistance, we have a uptrending support, we are forming a little bit strange looking triangle formation, and if we bring out the RSI, we can see a massive bullish divergence on the daily time frame, where the price is creating a higher low, but the RSI is creating a lower low, coming from oversold conditions right here. We already have seen a bounce in the price, but I do think the moment we will break the resistance right here decisively, that would be definitely a moment where we can see a bigger move to the upside. Chainlink in the Bitcoin comparative. And if we have a look at Chainlink in the US dollar comparative, then we are actually seeing the same chart. We have a declining resistance. We have a uptrending support right here, which is forming a triangle formation. We have a massive bullish divergence on the RSI on the daily time frame. So that is also quite significant when we are seeing it on a daily time frame, right? Where the RSI is creating a lower low, even going into oversold conditions, and the price is creating a higher low. And in this chart as well, Chainlink in the US dollar comparative, if we were to break above the resistance, I expect a bigger move to the upside. Of course, when we have a decisive breakout and volume is confirming it, but so far Chainlink is looking bullish in the Bitcoin comparative, but as well in the US dollar comparative. Then guys, I want to bring up the following chart, which is the S&P 500, and I want to bring out one specific trend line, and that is this orange trend line right here, which is the 100-day moving average. And right now we are testing the 100-day moving average, and this is a very important level if we look at the historical price action of the S&P 500. The moment we had this massive drop at the end of February, we saw that the moment we dropped below the 100-day moving average, then we came back up, back tested this level as resistance, and saw a continuation of this drop. So as you can see, historically, this has been a significant trend line where the moment we broke below this trend line, we had bigger moves to the downside, and this trend line has been acting as resistance. And the moment we are trading above this level, the 100-day moving average should act as support. And right now we are testing this level, which is really interesting because if we are going to see a decisive break of the 100-day moving average, then most likely we can expect a bigger drop, a bigger move to the downside. But if we are getting a bounce from this level, then that could be actually a bullish sign for the S&P 500. Also, when we have a look at the RSI, then we can see that we are having a divergence. We can see a higher low so far in the price, and if we have a look at the RSI, then the RSI right now is lower than the previous lows right here, indicating that there is still some bullish momentum left in the S&P 500. And so if we were to see a decisive break of this level, then that could definitely create some selling pressure on other markets too in the shorter term time frame. However, if we are seeing a bounce from this level, then that also does the opposite. Then that could have a bullish effect too on the markets that are correlated with the S&P 500, for example, Bitcoin. But okay guys, that was it for today's video. Please drop a like and leave your comment down below. And if you want to become a profitable cryptocurrency trader and develop a profitable cryptocurrency trading strategy based on your needs as a trader, then you can sign up for my cryptocurrency trading course. The link is down below in the description. Then guys, I wish you all a great weekend and I will see you all in the next video.